So I've been whiteboarding a lot of Magic cards recently, kind of like this, and I discovered something, or I developed something. I don't think this is any way unique, but my dumbass did not think about it. So for a couple people who might care or who might find it entertaining, I'll kind of show. So if you look at this expressive iteration, I wanted to do this whiteboarder, and the problem with newer cards that I kind of discussed briefly in another video is that it it strips the card, these glossier cards from newer card text. The paint, or I guess the ink itself, will just come off with the rest of the card, and then you have just this in-between layer between the blue layer in the card. So it's pretty much this. I mean, this card is technically sleeve playable. Most judges would probably not allow it, but it is damaged to an extent. I'm gonna save this because it's about a $6 card. So what I'll do is probably do like a border extension on it. But you know, these baubles at one point were about $18 each. They're still around there. So what you could do is I took a just random commons, and you'll see the black border is what we want to white out. Now, normally you would take a amount of tape, and you would kind of tape it over the card, and then you would just have only the black, and maybe like a third or half of a millimeter exposed left on the actual gray in this case, or the white, whatever the color of the card is, in order to keep a little bit of a layer so you can kind of get these edges going, and so you can clean this off eventually. But if you cut this out so you only have the card art starting at the frame that you're going to want to build around, or the frame that you're going to want to whiteboarder for the card that you're actually whitebordering, what you can do is you can lay this over top and just align it kind of like this, and then what you'll do is be able to tape it. Now, the reason that you want to tape it is because the tape, when you're peeling it up, even if you go carefully, it could start to peel off the actual card, like I mentioned. If you put this over, the only thing that you're going to be risking peeling from the tape is going to be this part of the card. And again, this is just a junk card. It's just an insert that I make between, and when I'm putting down the tape, you know, it could be vertically or horizontally. And then the part that you're already whiteboarding. Now, you could get something, like I said, where this is an in-between layer. It's actually underneath, even though it's so thin. And you do get this kind of very generic cardboard feel as a result. You could ultimately strip the white part of this border for the bauble, for example, that you want to keep, whereas opposed to it's all still glatt. It's a nice finish, just the same texture. There's no level, there's no visible feeling, or there's no tactile difference between the two. And if you do peel it up, it's not the end of the world. You're still going to have the white border, and it's going to be very hard to notice, especially if you use like perfect fits and then you put in like a double sleeve. So you could do this. Now, I just started doing this again maybe a couple nights ago, so I've already done a bauble. Now, unfortunately, I just learned this technique after I was doing these baubles, so this bauble is probably gone, meaning I have to replace it, but I am going to start doing that more and more, and I'm doing one of each of the original Rob Alexander Shocklands, but you can kind of see how the progress went. And then just a little progress update. I've got my tomb, I've got my watery grave, my hallowed fountain. This one I know it's not an original, but I'll have to pick it up. I didn't have one at the time. I did 2 of each basic land, so I'm really, really excited about these. I get to put them into a 5-color deck. Again, the stripping is real, so I have to go back and do another island. But it's very fun. And I quite like it so far. I really like these basics. The Yung Park Swamps especially. I have found that the Battle for Zendikar basics, the frame is a little bit different. You'll kind of see it here. It's a little bit more open, and the bottom is not as wide stretched as the original World Wake and Zendikar fetches are. So you'll see here, like, you have the Yung Park. And this drops down, so it has a little bit more on the art or the border. and then I'm slowly whitebordering all of a deck, but I do need to get a couple of regular non-foil, non-extended Asmar and Martakasana Kulnakars in order to do so. And then these two I really, really want to play with because I think they look great white border. My camera kind of sucks, but what can you do? Anyway, just a quick update. My workstation is still messy, but I am doing this process just with a 100% acetone from a Walgreens. I've got a Black Sand Factus eraser, which is working really good. I just use this only for cleanups on older cards where I'm not using the acetone. And then I've gone through so many Prismacolor magic erasers. You can buy a 3-pack for $3.29, I think is what they were online. I bought them in store for I think $3.79. But yeah, hopefully you find it of some use. I really do enjoy whitebordering cards. I love getting the disgusted reactions from people, so it's been a lot of fun so far. And I will probably open that up and just post for some more fun. Anyway, thanks for watching.